In this video we will discuss about pathogenesis of Marfan syndrome. So what is this Marfan syndrome? Marfan syndrome is the genetic disorder that is associated with connective tissue, and the problem in connective tissue uh, might leads to abnormal functional of the different body parts such as heart, eyes and other body parts. So what people have identified is that the problem in Marfan syndrome is because of the mutation in this fibrillin 1, and the protein fibrillin 1 is shown here, and it has around it is a multi-domain protein, and that is found on chromosome 15. A different kind of mutation affects this Marfan syndrome in different way. There are different number of genes available for fibrillin 1, and if mutation is occurred in a specific way, uh, that other gene will be able to compensate it. However, if mutation is occurred in a way that other gene will not be able to compensate it, then it might lead to conditions such as haplon sufficiency. So it is a uh, protein that has 2871 or 2871 amino acids, and if the mutation occurs at 1039 position, that is C amino acid is replaced by G, then it will lead to a condition that is called as uh, haploinsufficiency. So this haploinsufficiency means that the other normal genes will not be able to compensate the uh, normal functioning of this fibrillin 1. However, if the mutation occurs in this C1663 to R, C amino acid is replaced with R, then it will not affect the fibrillin 1 function, or we can say microfibrillin assembly, that is tested in mice. So let us now quickly go through the effect that this mutated fibrillin 1 cause. So let us first understand this normal condition. In normal condition, there is a stable ECM or extracellular matrix present, that has this elastin and also fibrinogen, and this fibrinogen also uh, fibrinogen also contains these TGF beta proteins in it, so that these TGF beta proteins will not be able to bind to the receptor on cell surface, and normal. And since this TGF beta is not be able to bind to the cell surface receptor, there will not be any signaling pathway activation, and the normal transcription and translation of the gene works. However, what happens in case of this Marfan syndrome, this fibrinogen 1 will aggregate itself close together, will aggregate itself and will isolate this or separate out this TGF beta. The TGF beta will be able to bind to the receptors, and this will activate the signaling pathway in a way that it will activate the transcription or translation of this matrix metalloproteases, and this matrix metalloproteases will then go into the extracellular matrix and then affect this elastin, and this functioning of elastin will get affected, and this will leads to create a problem in the connective tissue, and that will in long terms will leads to a condition that might affect different body parts such as heart, spine, eyes. So right now the two kind of conditions that I have already discussed are available in the Marfan syndrome. In one case, the symptoms are not visible, as in as the example shows here, and that is amino acid at C when replaced with R, and the other fibrinogen gene that can produce wild type fibrillin will be able to compensate the macro will be able to compensate, and this microfibril structure will remain intact or will remain close to the wild type. Whereas if this kind of mutation is occurred, that is known, if this kind of mutation occurs, it will cause haploinsufficiency, and this will lead to segregation of TGF beta and this fibrinoil 1, and that will finally leads to affect this elastin through the upregulation of MMP or matrix metalloprotease, and more specifically the matrix metalloprotease 9 that will that is been upregulated in case of this Marfan syndrome, and that will lead to this dysregulation, disintegration of an extracellular matrix. So I hope you have understood something about this Marfan syndrome and how which protein dysregulation of which protein is responsible for this disease, and how the functioning of changes in case of patients that has this mutated fibrillin 1, and which case of mutated fibrillin 1 is harmful and some cases are not that much harmful. If you need to understand this thing in details, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. That's all for this video. Thank you for your time.